Hi everyone! So if you guys hadn't seen my last video, I did a review of this Pemco 400 watt streetlight here. It was really cool and really fun to review, but in the last video I promised that I'd review this smaller 250 watt mercury Pemco Cobra head, so now it's time to review this very obscure fixture, and let's see what we can learn about it. So like my other 400 watt Pemco fixture that I just recently did a review on, this Pemco fixture unfortunately falls under the same issue of not having any real official catalog information or any real known model names, but this fixture is made by Pemco and it is 250 watts mercury vapor. Now, like my 400 watt Pemco fixture, this fixture was made during the early 60s, and I don't know when this fixture was discontinued, but it was definitely discontinued before the 1970s. So this fixture is really cool, just like my 400 watt Pemco fixture, although it's not as complicated. You can see it looks pretty standard right off the bat, and it is pretty standard. It's just like your normal solid door Cobra head fixture, and all your components are directly mounted in it, unlike my 400 watt Pemco fixture I just did a video on where it was completely different. As basic as this fixture is its obscurity and not knowing of what its model name really is really interesting, and I think despite all that, I'm really glad to be doing a video on this fixture, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I went ahead and leaned it on its side. I'm going to bring the camera up here. So, one thing you'll notice right off the bat, and I mentioned this of course again in my last video, is the shape of this fixture. Does it look like an M250 to you guys from the 1960s? Because to me it does. One thing I like to say about Pemco is that their fixtures are pretty copycat-like, because this fixture looks exactly, in a lot of ways, like a General Electric M250. This fixture was made during the same years the M250 from the 60s was. And you can see it's very similar in design to the M250. It has that very nice streamlined pattern, and it has the glass directly beneath it. Although, on this fixture, it's kind of pushed in a little more. As you can see, there's kind of a big lip on the front here. But yeah, and then it kind of dips in the middle, and it really is just basically it really looks basically like a 1960s General Electric M250. But don't get fooled, this is made by Pemco, and you will obviously see that in a moment here. A lot of these fixtures, funny enough, are mislabeled as General Electric M250s, and then when you get and then once people find out that these fixtures exist, they start to get M250s mixed up with these Pemco fixtures. But one thing to look for right away to identify is what kind of glass it has. Now, we'll look a little bit more closely at the glass in a minute, but you can see it has kind of like a Westinghouse style glass, but it's also not a Westinghouse style glass. It's its own unique style. And of course with the GE, it uses a really nice round glass lens. So there are differences that you can try to look for. But pretty much for the most part, it really does copy the General Electric M250 in regards to how it's built. So we'll see a little bit more of that in a moment here. But even though it is copying GE, I still do like its shape. It's very nice and streamlined. I will say it's a bit more, maybe a little bit more chubby. Of course, like I said, with that big lip on the front. It's a bit more bulky and a bit more chubby looking, but it's not really bad at all. It's really still an okay design, especially since it's basing its design off another really very popular fixture from its time. So yeah, and of course the metal, you can see there's no paint on it. This would have been originally painted with, I think, a matte silver finish like what the M1000s and M400s used to use. Right when they first came out, but unfortunately it's all worn off and it's not really there anymore. You can kind of see some paint spray. It looks like it unfortunately got on the glass a little bit. Despite not having its paint on here, the metal is actually pretty high quality. It's not a very thick fixture, but I will say the metal is very dense, despite being a little bit of a thinner fixture. But yeah, it's pretty good, and I really like it. You can kind of see the bottom section here. You can actually see the Pemco logo there. Yeah, just going around towards the front where the latch is. It's pretty much just like an M250, and it's pretty good quality. You can see this little detail right here. This right here is actually kind of like a seam where the door actually sits in here, so you know there's no misalignment. So that's actually kind of nice that they did that. That's one thing Pemco did that General Electric I don't think did. So it's kind of nice that they have this little seam going around it. So yeah. Anyway, let me pull it up like this right here, and we can take a look at our photocell socket. This photocell did not originally come with it. This had an area light photocell in it, a really cheap one, and it just went bad. So for now I have this blue sun switch, although I'm going to put a different one in here, as I really do want to put a nicer photocell socket or photocell on this. Here's the photocell socket. Of course, again, you know, this photocell socket is kind of a copycat thing, but it's pretty easy to work with and it's still high quality. All you gotta do to adjust your photocell is loosen these two screws just a little bit, if I can more. I think I got it. Or excuse me. All you gotta do is loosen these two screws here just a little bit, and your photocell should start spinning. Mine's a little sticky just because I haven't really moved it much yet. There's some, the original seam's kind of going bad, but when you do that, it loosens a spin plate so you can reposition it wherever you need to. So I'm going to put north right there. Go ahead and screw it back down, and once you've screwed your screws back down, it's nice and tight where it should be. So yeah, you can see it's pretty thick, this photocell socket. It's actually made of a bakelite plastic, so pretty high quality. It actually is labeled Pemco on it too. Really cool. So yeah, definitely something a Pemco photocell socket and not just some other brand. So yeah, really like that. Let me go ahead and lay this fixture on its back, and we'll go ahead and open it up. So basically, to open up this Pemco fixture, it's very similar to my 400 watt fixture that I had reviewed in my last video. You got this little button here that you press, and this one actually has a little thumb latch. So it's actually a little bit easier. All you gotta do is push it in like so, and it's a little bit hard because you're laying on the floor to do it, but I'll try. Push that back and voila, your door opens right up. But before you can take it off, and this is why I say again that this really does copy General Electric. You have a little button here. There's a little piece of stainless steel metal that kind of holds it onto that hinge. So all you gotta do is push it in a little bit and it slides right out. So yeah, let me go ahead and set this on the floor and we can look at it. So here is the really long door. You can see it takes up a pretty good chunk of my camera. So right off the bat, all you really gotta do to get the glass out on this fixture is just undo the screw a little bit. It's kind of a tension screw. There we go. And you can now spin that little tab, but you can already see the glass, of course, is coming off. And your glass just slides right out, so I'll go ahead and put this aside for a minute. And an overview of the door here. Here's the outside again. You can see it's just pretty plain. You know, there's not really any details on it, but it's still really high quality. You can see Pemco has embossed their logo on here. It's very nice, clean and crisp. I really like that. Of course, here is that little button to help release the door off the hinge. It's a little bit stiff. It's a solid piece of stainless steel metal, so you know you gotta really press on it hard. But high quality, I like that, and you can see it's just bolted on here. So I think GE with theirs, they just used rivets. So what's really cool about this is if I need to take it apart and clean it, which actually you can obviously tell I need to because these bolts are a little bit rusted. All I gotta do is just undo the screws and it'll come right out. So I can take those apart and clean them. So I really like when they use screws instead of just riveting things, because it makes it really easy to take things apart and clean them. So really awesome. You can see right here, there was some stickering. When I got this fixture, it did have all the stickering in it, but it was falling apart so much that I couldn't read it, and it just, you know, it was dirty. So unfortunately, a lot of information on this has been lost, but hopefully maybe some more of these can be saved and someone can find that, or a catalog can come up soon, or some trade journal information, but then you wouldn't really need any of that. But yeah, the stickering would be right here, and it'd basically tell you everything about the fixture. again, here is that little stainless steel tab. The screw is kind of rusted, but I can always polish and replace it. But yeah, there's that. And of course, with every streetlight, you need a couple drip holes, just in case you get any moisture inside that develops and creates water. So yep, that's where all the moisture would drip out of. So yeah, right, pretty cool. Yeah, and you just got your opening here, and right here you can see this piece of stainless steel that basically just a long, nice long tab that holds the that's screwed down, that holds the lens. So really cool. And like my 400 watt Pemco fixture with that, but it has that nice really cool button style technology. GE just had a pretty large flat flush button, but Pemco here decided to make like a real looking button type thing, so really cool. My 400 watt Pemco fixture though did not have this tab, so this tab does make it a lot easier to work with. It's all stainless steel, except for the screw obviously that's under there. And unlike my 400 watt Pemco, this one does not have cotter pins. It just has little crimped bars in there, but it's all stainless steel spring technology, and it's pretty high quality, so I'm not really too worried that there's no cotter pins I can take out on this one. It's pretty good, so yeah. And that's really it. That's pretty much the door. There's not really a lot of crazy stuff going on. But let me go ahead and bring the glass lens over, because I think you guys will actually really like this glass. So like my other, like my 400 watt Pemco fixture, this glass is extremely high quality. It's some of the best glass that you can find in a streetlight fixture of this time. Now I compared it with Line Materials glass last time. I didn't have like a piece of glass, but I just kind of, you know, talked about it. This glass is super clean, super crisp in mold, and this design actually, like I said, it looks a lot like the Westinghouse OB15 or like Cooper OBZ style glass, and it's not. And I have a piece of glass that I can actually compare right now with, so let me go ahead and get that. So you can see actually right off the bat that the design patterns are definitely completely different, but they are for the most part kind of similar, but shape's different. You can see this one's a little bit more chunky as to where this one kind of comes in more in the front, so there's more slanting going on with this Westinghouse glass. This is the one that came out of my OB15 they had reviewed a long time ago now. So yeah, other than similar designs like this and, you know, those little two-way patterns on the inside, the outside patterns on the front and sides are not entirely the same. So like you can see there's more thicker details here, and there's like less on this one. If I kind of turn them to the side a bit, you can see this one actually has more detail on the side, and this one doesn't have as much. But this glass is actually kind of almost in new old stock condition, so this glass is just as good actually as, you know, the Line Materials glass that would have been used as well in regards to quality. But one thing that Pemco's glass seems to do better at is making the details very sharp and crisp, especially when you feel them. On these, every other lens that Holophane is made for other companies, the detailing's usually pretty, I'd say it's pretty clean and clear, but like they kind of round out the details and make them really nice and smooth. As to where Pemco here, the details are actually pretty sharp. They have pretty nice edges. Like the edges are smooth, but they're not like rounded out or anything. You can really just feel the edges, so it's almost like they're sharp, but they're not. But yeah, it is pretty much just a standard design of glass, but despite it being slightly different in shape, it's still really cool. And this glass is really high quality. Like this is the highest quality glass you could get of its time. It's really nice. Again, like I said, clean and clear and crisp in mold. And of course, we definitely have to look at the Pemco logo. So, unlike my 400 watt Pemco fixture, this has a different Pemco logo on it. So, I've seen this Pemco logo before, I think in advertising, but yeah, it's not that really fancy round Pemco logo. It's like a more modern looking logo. There's another 400 watt Pemco fixture that was made, I think, after like 1964 or 5, and I have a picture of one, and I'm actually trying to get that fixture at this time, but it has that same logo on the front, and it has the same kind of build that this fixture has as well. So yeah, pretty nice. And This logo on here has to be one of the nicest logos, even though it's not like the fancy logo, but like in regards to quality, this logo is really clean and clear and crisp, and it just, when you look at it, you just can see it says Pemco. It's easy to read. It's just super, super high quality. This is some of the best glass ever. It's probably a little bit better than Line Materials glass, and those lenses are actually really high quality and beautiful in design too. But yeah, this glass has its own unique high quality that I think really deserves an A+. So kudos to Pemco for making such a cool, unique lens, glass lens for this fixture. But yeah, if I bring it up here, I can show you some of the wording on the rim here. You can see the style number. Of course, it never wants to focus. There we go. The style number. Go down towards the end here. On the back side, it doesn't really say house side or anything. It's just kind of blank, even though it won't focus. And of course, on this side, you can see that it says halophane. It has all of its little readings, and this one actually does have a patent date. This one is patented in 1963, so pretty cool. And there's some other weird wording at the end here. I can't even really tell what that is, but yeah, pretty cool. And of course on the top, like, you know, it doesn't really say like street side or anything, but yeah. But one thing I noticed is that this glass doesn't really say Pemco on the rim, and the other Pemco glass in my 400 watt fixture is like that too, so it's a little odd. Maybe Pemco didn't really fully have the rights to this design, so they, you know, halophane just never really put it on the rim. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside, and let's go ahead and look at our light fixture. So as obscure as this fixture is, you can see there's not really a ton going on inside. It's just a lot of basic mercury vapor type stuff going on, just a ballast, capacitor, and a terminal block. But let's not overlook it. Let's actually take a really close look at it. First, you can see at the end here where the hinge is, just a nice stainless steel piece of metal that's pushed through the back here. And then we go up into the slit fitter. Now this is something Pemco did, and they've done this throughout some of their other fixtures, like their fish head and then their other 400 watt fixture. But you can see these slit fitters here. Let me see if I can take this out. They're kind of like offset, and I'm not sure why Pemco did that. It's a very unusual choice of making these, or decision. Let's get this out. I want to show you this. This is definitely something specific to Pemco, and it's one reason, you know, I do these reviews, so I can show you guys a little thing. So this fixture won't fall on its side. I don't lose any of that. But yeah, look how they cut those holes off center. I don't know why Pemco did this, but yeah, that's definitely something Pemco did, so really, really weird. Despite these being offset the way they are still really high quality. I mean, you can see these screws that I'm screwing in right now. They're really nice stainless steel screws. And then these clips are just, I think, made of a cast, some kind of cast aluminum or metal. And they're very thick and very strong. But it's pretty standard. It's just 2 clips really is all it is. There's not really any leveling or anything you can do with this fixture. But yeah, going up into the ballast area, you can see the transformer, capacitor, and terminal block like I had mentioned. Here is the terminal block. You can see it has that modern style Pemco logo on it. Pretty cool. And this terminal block actually looks very similar, I think, to a Westinghouse terminal block, if I'm correct, or a Line Materials. So definitely very similar in design. Not something I'd per se that's copycatted, but yeah, it's nice. It's made of a nice bakelite plastic, and it's really thick, and it's high quality, so that's all that matters. That's really all that matters. But you got your wires coming out this to your transformer and your capacitor here. This is a 120-240 transformer here, and you can see some lettering on it. There really isn't any stickering on it that you can see right off the bat. Just some little date code looking things on it. But I don't know what brand it is, but apparently a lot of these fixtures use like Sylvania ballast or really old advanced ballasts. I'm not sure which one that this is, but it is pretty high quality, pretty nice. And with these fixtures, they would use these retrofit style brackets to install them, so kind of odd that they chose to do that. But yeah, really nice. So you got your transformer and your capacitor here. The original capacitor in this light was actually starting to malfunction when I had plugged it in. So I had to unfortunately replace the capacitor. So this is the original capacitor right here. You could see it's an if it'll focus, you can see here that it's an Arabex capacitor. This capacitor didn't completely fail yet, but it's starting to. What was happening when I was turning this fixture on is it would get to full brightness and then the light would just shut off. And I think Pemco uses capacitors that are actually made to just turn off when something's wrong. Because, you know, I had to replace the ones in here, they were just not working at all. This capacitor just suddenly stops working and then the fixture just completely turns off, so it's really weird. But yeah, this capacitor unfortunately failed. Like I said, it's an Arabex capacitor. I say this a lot of times to people, and I don't think they understand, but these Arabex capacitors are extremely cheap. I've never had good experiences with them. They always fail. They have very short lifespans. The oldest ones that I've worked with suck, and the ones that they use in the new Cobra OBZ and OBX fixtures and stuff that they still make are also notorious for going bad, and then the lights dim really badly. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these Arabex capacitors. They really are the worst capacitors, and with these older ones I noticed they always fail to a short and just burn up the transformers. I'm going to say it again like I did in my last video, but this Unistyle 1000 I have that I did a video on a while ago had Arabex capacitors in it, and it almost, the ballast actually almost did get burned up on it. Luckily the ballast is okay, but yeah, it had those crappy Arabex capacitors that just all fail. So if you guys ever go to put new caps in lights, don't get Arabex capacitors. They don't last. I'm telling you, that's the truth. But I do have a new capacitor in here for now. It's just a Dayton capacitor. I don't really know anything about Dayton capacitors, but I just got off eBay, and it seems to work fine. However, this capacitor is a little bit too new looking. As you can see, this old one has that nice gray paint that they used to use, so I'm probably going to get another one to put in here that looks a little bit more older with the light, but for now that'll do. And it makes the light run really well, so definitely impressed with it. So yeah, that's pretty much your mercury vapor components here. And if we go up into the light here, we can start to look at all this. Here's the lamp. Let me take this out real quick. This is a new old stock Sylvania lamp. It's only had a slight bit of use so far since I've had it. Pretty nice. It's really old. But to get to the reflector out here, it's pretty simple. You just got this little tension tab here. All you gotta do is pull back on it. This one's a little bit tight. There we go. Just slide that out, and voila. And we'll take a look at this in a second, but let me go ahead and just kind of get back in the fixture real quick. You can see the light bulb socket here, and there's some room for adjustment. You can see it's nice and has some really high quality metal going on here. You can move it forward and back. I think on here you can actually position the socket up or down, or have it move forward or back. So there's definitely some room for adjustment. But like I say in all my videos, I don't really care too much for this, but with this Pemco fixture you have lots of room for adjustment, so pretty cool. This is actually the seal that goes between the socket and the reflector. This is made of like a foam rubber. This is not fiber material. This is not like that really thick rubber. It's that you find in other fixtures. It's a very nice, just rubber. Ooh, it did crack a little bit there just now. I need to be careful, but yeah, it's really rubbery. I don't know why it's cut off center like that, but it still works. So really cool, actually. I like that. Go ahead and put that back on. And of course on the front here, there's that little spring that I was just showing you guys. Just a nice piece of stainless steel metal, and then there's your little clip where the button latch hooks onto. Just stainless steel metal again. So yeah, pretty cool. There's one thing I noticed. There's some little divots sticking out evenly right here and then right here. I think that might probably be for the reflector, but I don't 100% know. And last but not least, you can see the photocell socket hiding in there. Really cool. There's that nice big spin plate. You can see that it's mounted to. In the bottom section of that, you can see a lot of plastic sticking up. It's a really nice, like I said, thick backlight plastic. So really, really cool. So yeah, overall, this fixture's nice. And the reflector here, this must have not have seen a lot of use either, because, you know, I got that from that guy's collection. But usually these gray gaskets, I'm not a huge fan of them because they're very notorious for deteriorating very quickly and dry rotting and just falling apart. But this one is actually pretty good still. It's really nice and really flexible, as you can see right now. So I'm really proud of that. And this one he got is very clean. You can see there's me. If I can wave, hello. There's my reflection. Yeah, it's just very nice, clean reflector. But like every other reflector, it's just a pressed aluminum piece of aluminum that's been polished. Nothing too special. Just pretty standard. But one cool thing that's on it is that little piece of metal here that sticks out, so it can hook on to the little clip holder, reflector clip on the front. It's riveted in with some really thick rivets. Really like that. And yeah, so just pretty basic, really, but really nice at the same time. Anyway, now that we've looked at all that, let me go ahead and put this fixture back together and we can watch this thing warm up. Alright, so I have my Pemco fixture set up here, and let me go ahead now and close some blinds so that it can start up. Now I have it hooked up with the Photocell, so I'm going to try to do this in real time. So this is my 250 watt small Cobra head Pemco fixture in 1, 2, 3, and voila. Oh, my curtains are being stupid. Really nice. You can actually tell, hear that it's really quiet. It's a very good light. One thing you'll also notice too is how pink it is when it starts up. When those mercury lamps are brand new like that and they're phosphor coated, they tend to have a really nice deep pink. So that definitely tells you it's good. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch this warm up. Okay, we are at full brightness. This fixture is super quiet and super bright. Let me go ahead and kind of turn it on its side here. If I point the camera at it, you can just see there's just a lot of light coming off it. Look at that. Whew, it's bright. It's like I said, it's 250 watts mercury vapor, so you'll get a lot of light. Bring the camera up here from a 250 watt fixture compared to 175, but yeah, it's the overexposure is crazy. I can't really even look at it. It's that capacitor really works well, and this lamp is brand new, so yeah, pretty bright. And you can see the side of the fixture here. Let me kind of put it more on that side like this a little bit. We can kind of get a good look at it. You can see that lovely Pemco logo embossed on it, and the little slit fitter buttons. And you can kind of see some light coming from above me, but you can see the top housing there. And if we lay it back on its side, we can take a look at the glass. There's a little slit fitter button up there. Wow, it's really beautiful. The camera never does enough justice, just because you can see the sine wave with the frame rate being, you know, not as high. But yeah, there's that lamp in there, Sylvania lamp, and there's that lovely Pemco logo, very beautiful against the mercury light. Yeah, like I said, even though the glass is its own unique shape, it is just a pretty standard glass, but it's a very high quality standard glass. The details are very, very nice. Very, very clean. You can see. Just very good. Really, really nice. And so is that Pemco logo on the front. So, yeah. Here it is again from the side. You can kind of get an idea of how it looks. Put my hand here. Here we go. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Bless you, excuse me. Yeah, I really do love this fixture. It's, even though it's kind of just, you know, more of a generic type of fixture, it really is a good fixture. Despite it, you know, copying GE and a couple other things. Yeah, it's really nice. I definitely like this fixture a lot. It's a very good fixture. So, and it's cool to have one of these and 250 watts mercury vapor as well. So, alright, so that was a really cool fixture that we just looked at. I really do like this Pemco fixture. Unfortunately, again, there's no information as to what the model name is, but it is cool because it's 250 watts mercury vapor, and it is made by Pemco. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I thank you guys for watching. These fixtures are really obscure right now and really hard to find. There's actually a lot of these fixtures still around over outside of Philadelphia. That's one place you can find a lot of those fixtures. But if anyone knows where any of these fixtures are, please do anything you can to share them and their locations, and so that people can go and take pictures and try to save them, because these fixtures are very obscure and really hard to find right now. Same with this fixture that I reviewed in my last video. These are really hard to find too. If anyone knows where any of these fixtures are, just please let people know. You know, share locations and try to get people excited about these, because these Pemco fixtures, you know, are really special, and they really do deserve to have some you know, information on found. So yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, please feel free to drop a like down, and let me know down in the comments if there's anything about these fixtures you guys know about that I actually haven't mentioned. So yeah, in the comments below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, if you see any of these Pemco fixtures, please save them. Peace.